Caleb Wolfinger alongside my colleague Evan Patrick from the Bryce Jordan Center as Penn State knocked off Alabama today 73-71 for their 5th Power 5 win of the season and their 6th win over a team ranked in the top 100 of KenPom today. Pretty significant deal for the Nittany Lions, 6 of their first 9 wins against teams in the top 100 of KenPom. That's inarguably a great resume booster for their NCAA tournament. And Penn State might be ranked in the AP top 25 on Monday, but it wasn't always easy tonight.
Yeah, no, I mean, the first half, Penn State struggled a lot. I mean, the shooting numbers were not great at all, and Alabama was doing a lot to really disrupt the half-court offense. The Alabama coach talked about how they were trying to really fight over screens and disrupt those half-court sets, and Penn State really did not respond well to that. But the second half was a different story. I mean, Penn State got back into the game, shot the ball, I think, 8% better in that second half overall, or 10% better from the field. And then Mike Watkins, who looked sluggish, was not playing his best basketball during that first half, kind of turned things around, got some more boards, and was more of an impact on the defensive end of the floor than he was in that first half. And that was huge, as he's a key piece of this team, especially on that defensive end. And then Lamar Stevens had not one of his best offensive performances of the season, or what we're accustomed to seeing from him. He shot just 6 for 16 tonight, but I mean, he had that 7-0 run, I believe, on his own during the second half where he just took over. I mean, he had a point where he had an and one to kick it off. He was super emotional, let out like a huge scream. He said in the postgame he wanted to get his team some energy and really spark plug them, and it did just that, and Penn State really had the gas that Alabama didn't to get the win down late in the stretch.
Yeah, down the stretch, and Alabama coach Nate Oates did talk about how just Stevens stepping up and just being such a force physically. And not just on the offensive end, but on the defensive end as well. I mean, just during the game, you can kind of look up and see him lock down a player, but it's not necessarily as noticed for a guy that was second in the Big Ten in scoring last year. He's going to be in the top 5 in the conference again in scoring this year. Not necessarily known as like his MO, but Pat Chambers spoke after the game that he's also just becoming an elite defender. And we could see him on an all Big Ten first-team defense, by the end of the season. We'll have to see about that, but. You mentioned the run, and Penn State wouldn't have been in that position in the first place if it wasn't for the Joneses. Curtis Jones Jr., the senior transfer, and Myron Jones, a sophomore, who, continues to impress. He hasn't exactly, didn't exactly play a lot of minutes last year, but has come in and he's got a great stroke. He's in command of the offense in that first half. When Penn State couldn't get anything going, he had a couple of big three-pointers. And then Curtis Jones in the second half had a couple of big three-pointers of his own to keep Penn State within striking distance. And then Stevens went on that individual run. And from there, Penn State controlled the game down the stretch, got the stop in the last possession, and got the 73-71 victory. And that's going to do it for us from the Bryce Jordan Center. Penn State will be back in action on Friday against Central Connecticut State from the BJC, looking to improve to 10-2 on the season. Make sure to follow us on all of our social medias and at collegian.psu.edu for continuing coverage.